Hey guys, Sheldon Evans here. Welcome back. Today, before we get into the video, I've got an incredibly special announcement to make for you guys, and that is a project that I've been working on over the past few months with some incredibly talented individuals, and it is known as Your Mom's House. Now, Your Mom's House is an NFT collective, an NFT club, a crypto collective of like-minded individuals who share a love for blockchain, crypto, and NFTs. And today we're announcing our first official drop, and that is Nostalgia. Now, Nostalgia is a collection that is very dear to my heart. It's basically a reminiscence of my growing up and my history and my childhood, and I'm sure many other people share that as well. So this collection is something that I've put a lot of work into myself. I've contributed to a lot of the art of this project and to Your Mom's House itself. As you guys know, I do have a history in art direction, so this has been a very work-intensive project with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that I've spent a lot of time on, a lot of sleepless nights over the past few months working on, and it's finally live. And we've been keeping it in secret purely based on the fact that there are so many scammers and impersonators out there, and we've wanted to keep this project on the down low so that no one copies it and you guys don't get scammed. I've seen this happen with many other projects, people getting scammed and losing tons of money investing in things that don't even exist yet. So all the information about this project will be released on this YouTube channel and on the official website, which is yourmomshouse.io. So don't go to any other websites, don't visit any other sites. The only place you can find this information is there, as well as at YMHNFT on Twitter. So this is the official Twitter account. You can go over there and follow it right now. This is the first mention of it that there is online. You won't find this anywhere else. So please always be aware that the only account that you'll get the official information from is from at Sheldon Evans on Twitter. Always make sure that the Twitter account is correct, at Sheldon Evans and at YMH NFT. Those are the only accounts that where you'll find this information. So what is YMH? Why is Nostalgia such an important history, right? So Nostalgia is essentially the first drop. It's a collection of 5 different items: a sneaker, teddy bear, juice box, a mom's boy, and a water pistol. And these items will be minted at random on Mint. Now, mint date will be later this week. Date will be confirmed. You can join the Discord down below. The official link will be in the description of this video. Don't click on any links in the comments. Don't click on anything else, anywhere else besides in the description of this video, as well as on my official Twitter and at YMHNFT on Twitter. Those are the only places you'll find links and the official links. Anywhere else, anyone DMing you, messaging you, please don't follow that stuff. I just have to make this very, very clear. Now, the first NFT drop of these 5 images, you'll get them at random on Mint. You don't know which one you will get. So if you do want to secure a specific art piece, you will have to purchase that on the secondary market. Now, the utility of each of these NFTs is exactly the same. In the future, of course, this may change, but for now, this is the utility. The utility is an access to an exclusive private Discord that only those with the NFT have access to, where we will discuss what we're buying, what we're investing in, what we're looking at, chat to one another, talk about crypto. I'll pop in there from time to time. We have a large team behind us as well that will pop in there, talk to you guys. We're all got experience in blockchain. We've all got experience in crypto and NFTs. So we can share pretty much everything we've learned along the way. We want to learn from you guys, and we want like-minded individuals in this community, in this exclusive community. And the reason we're doing this is that there's a lot of alpha out there. There's a lot of information online. It's scattered. It's all over the place. And we want an exclusive community of like-minded individuals, people who share the same interests, have a lot of knowledge in the space, and we want to impart that on one another. And I want to learn from you guys as well. I'll be in there. I want to learn as much as I can from you guys, and so do the other team members. And this first NFT, in addition to the access to the Discord, you get 2 mints in the future. So we will have 2 additional projects. We have a Metaverse project, a 3D avatar project, as well as a profile picture project in the works. Now, these 2 will be for free for the current members. So if you purchase this first NFT, you will be able to mint the next NFT for free. And anyone else who wants access to them will have to buy them on the secondary market. So you're essentially getting 3 NFT sets from this one set, as well as a bunch of utility built into this first NFT. So you can see the items here. It's explained in detail that after this first launch, once we have sold out this NFT set, $1.2 million will be paid into a community fund. Now, this fund is used to benefit the community. We're going to spend $100,000 for the first 12 months. Of course, this is the maximum budget. If we end up going over this or not spending it, it doesn't really matter. It means that this is what we do have allocated to fund community-driven projects, community ideas, investment in the Nostalgia and Your Mom's House brands. What we want this to be is one of the largest metaverse brands out there. and I'll explain later in detail in the video what the metaverse is and why we're focusing so much on the metaverse and gaming. So in addition to this community fund, we will also have 50% of the royalties or 50% of the OpenSea fees of future NFT mints paid into a DAO. Now, a DAO is a decentralized autonomous organization. Now, this DAO is basically governed by these nostalgia NFT holders. So of this first NFT drop, you have an additional utility of that NFT, which is to vote on how those funds are spent. So the DAO funds can be used to purchase metaverse land, can be used to purchase other NFTs, to invest in other cryptos, to move the funds around however the community deems fit, whether that's funding community projects, hiring other team members. All these additional things can be used for from the DAO and from the DAO royalty fund. Now, this will be for forever. Every project that comes into this, the fees will then be paid back into the DAO to continually increase the DAO, increase what we call a war chest or a treasury, to increase the value of nostalgia and NFT, nostalgia and your mom's house overall. And this is basically done to ensure that we have our roots set in the metaverse, we have our metaverse land, we have projects built in the metaverse, which I'll explain later as well, why we're focusing so much on the metaverse. So there will always be additional utility coming to this as well. For now, this is what we have planned out. Obviously, more utility will come in the future, but we wanted to make it as valuable as possible from the get-go for the community members and for the nostalgia NFT holders. Now, obviously, you have access to the private community. We'll be doing some giveaways as well, starting off with 5 $10,000 giveaways, and as well as 5 YMH NFT giveaways. So the giveaways will be hosted on my official Twitter, which is @SheldonEvans. We will have giveaways in our Discord, which is linked below. And we'll have giveaways on the YMH NFT Twitter account. So there's going to be giveaways all over the place. This is where they're going to start. And we will be having giveaways, obviously, to nostalgia NFT holders. These are going to be at random. We're going to airdrop some holders additional NFTs in the future. There's tons of stuff that's going to come out. Obviously, I can't announce everything. Some of it's in secret, some of it is planned already, and some of it we haven't even decided on yet, and that is what the community will also help decide in the future. So we're going to have a launch later on this week. Don't worry about pre-sale. If you hear anything about a pre-sale, if you hear anything about somebody else selling a pre-sale or selling this token, don't buy into it. The only people who have pre-sale access are my patrons, and they will mint 1 day before public. So if you haven't been whitelisted for that yet, don't worry about it. You've missed out already. You're not going to whitelist, but it doesn't matter. All that does is it secures an NFT at launch price. There's no different prices for anybody else. We will announce all the pricing and everything directly in the Discord, in the public Discord, as well as on my YouTube channel and on the Twitter and the official links that we've mentioned before. I just have to make it very clear that you guys don't go elsewhere looking for this information, because these are the only places you'll find it. So in addition to all of this, we have some other stuff planned as well, such as an exclusive apparel store. So if you are holding the NFT pass, the nostalgia pass, you will have access to a member-only apparel and merch store. Now, this will go bigger in the future. We have a lot of cool plans for this. One of the main team members is a brand builder himself, worked on some of the world's most incredible brands. He's been building this for many, many years. I myself have worked with him in the past, many years ago, when I was very much involved in marketing and art direction. We worked together as well. We also have a 10 ETH treasure hunt coming up. So we've been working on this as well. There are clues planted around somewhere on the internet. The first one to solve it gets 10 ETH. Now, it's not going to be easy. It's a 10 ETH giveaway, so keep your eyes out for that. And then, of course, we're going to be focusing on GameFi and cartoons. So there's a reason the style and the way that the art looks is like this, is because we're heavily focused on gaming, GameFi, and the metaverse. You guys know there has been a catalyst recently with Facebook rebranding to Meta, and that has just set in motion this global catalyst, this global movement towards the metaverse, as well as the new additional lockdowns and all the things going around in the world, which we'll explain later as well. But if you want to find more information, head over to the yourmomshouse.io website. Find all the information you want there and look over it in your free time. There will be more information down in the description below with the official links. Now, to get on into today's video after that long intro, but it had to be long because it is something that I'm incredibly proud of. So let's talk about the metaverse. Why is the metaverse so important? Why are people clamoring to get into it, and why are we even talking about it? So you might have heard that Adidas announced a partnership with Sandbox and Coinbase. Now, Sandbox is one of the largest metaverse projects out there after Decentraland. Now, Sandbox is obviously a land sort of project. You can buy land in the sandbox to develop on, to build events, you can build experiences, you can buy land to host your own property, you can host stores. These are all the things that are going to happen in the future in the metaverse, right? Now, the reason this is so important is that a few months ago, over a year ago, in fact, I mentioned why NFTs are so important to crypto, why they're so important to blockchain. And that is because it brings ownership back to the digital world, right? Now, up until this point, we've had Web 2, right? Where pretty much everything online can be copied and multiplied and sent over to other people. You need one of these, and it doesn't matter if you own anything. However, it's gotten to the point where if we want people to be able to make money online or make money in this digital world, we have to bring ownership back to that world, right? So scarcity, ownership, digital, physical items, these are all the things that bring capital and bring money back into the digital realm, since we are in such a digital world. And obviously this pandemic has sped up the advancement of this digital world. This project that I've been working on it for a couple months. Our team is entirely remote. We've got like 15 people all over the world. We speak every single day, video calling, and it's as if we're sitting in the same office, right? Of course, we do have some people in person here with me, but all over the world, we've been speaking to these people. It's basically real time. This entire project is now a global project because we've been building it all over the world. So by moving into this digital realm, there has to be some sort of movement, some sort of shift, some sort of change in order for the commerce side, for the capital side of things to change and shift and move into that digital realm. And that's exactly what NFTs do. It brings that ownership back. So we've seen this announcement with Adidas partnering with Coinbase as well as with the Sandbox. Now, the Sandbox and Decentraland and so on, these are scarce land parcels that you can purchase in the metaverse, right? And because they're scarce, because there's a limited amount, it means that you have to secure your space early, or else you're going to end up paying way more for it in the future because there's only such a limited amount of these parcels. And the biggest brands in the world are realizing this. They're getting into this as early as possible because they want to secure their roots in this place. It's exactly what I want to do with Your Mom's House and with Nostalgia. So we want to secure Your Mom's House in the metaverse. We want to make sure that we are aligned with some of the world's biggest brands. We want to compete with the world's biggest brands. This is not going to be a small little project that drops and is forgotten. We're here to stick around. I want to build this into a worldwide global brand, and I hope that you're here along for the ride. So we've seen this with many of these other projects as well. And we can see that Adidas always lags behind that of Nike. If you follow the story behind Adidas, you'll know this is very, very common. And that is because Roblox recently branded with Nike Land. Now, Nike Land is created on Roblox. Now, if you don't know what Roblox is, it is also a game that allows Nike fans to connect, create, and share experiences in Nike Land. Now, Roblox is one of the biggest games in the world. It's really crazy what the stats are looking like for Roblox right now. It has 43.2 million daily active users. That means there's over 40 million people around the world playing online digitally every single day, and around 202 million users every single month playing in the metaverse, right? Now, for decades, we've had games. I grew up as a gamer. I grew up playing PlayStation, computer games, and so on. And that was all for entertainment. It was all purely entertainment based. It was completely for fun. First, it started off with just playing with my friends in my living room and with my family. And then, of course, we got online gaming. And that moved to the world where we are in now, where we competed with one another online, we played with one another, we connected with one another purely for entertainment purposes. There was no financial incentive, there was no reason to play other than because it was enjoyable. Now, with this play-to-earn narrative, with the metaverse coming into play and digital ownership coming into play, we now have play-to-earn. We have an additional incentive for people to play games around the world, right? So if we ever needed another reason for people to play games, it is here now. And for me, that is what is going to bring the global adoption of crypto and of NFTs, is this financial incentive, again, on top of just people simply playing games, right? We first started seeing it with some Twitch streamers, or some gaming streamers, some gaming YouTubers back in the day. That was the only real way to monetize your gaming, right? Maybe through some sponsorships if you went esports tournaments and so on. I did in fact compete in some of these myself. I never won any of them. I wasn't very good, but that is beside the point. What I'm saying is that those were the only ways to really monetize your gaming many years ago. Then of course we got an additional buying of digital assets. This was before we started using these as NFTs, right? Let's take, for example, the PlayStation Store. Back when it first launched, you could buy assets for your games. When Steam launched, you could buy assets for Fortnite, and you could buy different skins and things for your games. But where did all this money go? Where were you buying it from? You were buying it from a centralized entity. You were buying it from Steam. You were buying it from Valve. You were buying it from PlayStation or from Sony. You weren't really investing in anything. You weren't buying anything on the blockchain. It wasn't provably rare. It wasn't yours. So if you bought those assets in those games, where did they go? You simply used them in the game, and that money was gone forever. I remember as a kid, I would download games on iOS and buy a bunch of stuff on my mom's credit card. I got in terrible trouble for that back as a kid. Buying stuff on my mom's credit card, of course, we didn't have much money. So I bought stuff in a game, and at the end of the month, the credit card bill came around, and I'd spent a bunch of money on in-game assets that to this day, I have no idea where they are. I'll never use them again because they weren't rare. They weren't mine. They were just simply funding this organization, this company, out of our family's own pocket. However, now you can buy those assets, and those assets are transferable. They are compatible with different games and different metaverses and different projects. Once you have these assets in this new Web3 world, once you have these digital assets, they are yours. If I purchase this cell phone, it is mine, right? It's not like I purchase it here and I leave and I have to go use it somewhere else. If I go to a different country, I have to buy a new cell phone. No, I can use the exact same one that I have right now because it's mine. It's provably mine. And that's exactly what NFTs are doing and why the metaverse is so flipping incredibly important right now. And why I think it's just continually going to grow. So going back to the users of Roblox, there's 202 million monthly active users, right? And that sounds like a lot of people. It sounds like tons of people playing games. However, if we look at how many people in the world play games, this is a tiny, tiny, tiny drop in the water of how many people worldwide play games. Let's take a look at some of the stats. So globally, there are around 3.24 billion gamers. 3.24 billion people worldwide are playing games, and 42 million of them are playing Roblox, right? That just shows you how tiny this industry is right now. This is a multi-trillion-dollar industry in the making. So the community developers of Roblox have made $328 million. I'm telling you right now, this is a multi-trillion-dollar industry if you simply look a few months, a few years ahead from now. Now, it doesn't take a lot of thinking to project this or to understand this. Now, of course, I'm sure there are many people sitting in their seats right now shaking their heads and saying, oh, that'll never happen, or I don't like the way where this is going. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. It doesn't matter if you like where the world is going. It's where it's going. You're not going to change it. The only thing you have to do is adapt or die, right? That's a saying to live by. Of course, or simply forget about everything and go live in the forest in a treehouse. So now let's talk about the catalyst behind Sands Rally. So now Sandbox is the game I've just spoken about as well. Leading on from Decentraland, you can buy land parcels in the sandbox for brands and individuals and businesses and so on to build their own metaverse experiences, and then basically invite people to those. You can charge people for those experiences. You can put it in an area that has high traffic to increase the land value, to increase your business value, to get eyes on your business. We saw this huge boom with the e-commerce boom, right? I made a lot of money back in the day in e-commerce. I sold an e-commerce business for over 6 figures, and that is how I got into the world of online money, right? And seeing how the e-commerce world grew and how people transitioned from going to stores and shopping to purchasing online is what I'm seeing right now with the sandbox and digital experiences, right? By brands and awareness coming to the digital world, people are going to be spending a lot more time in the digital world as the physical world slowly falls and collapses. Of course, this is not going to be an overnight thing. It's going to take many, many years. But what I'm saying is we're at the very beginning of it. We're at the cusp of what we would deem a revolution. And this change is so important to notice, because if you miss it, you're going to miss out and you're going to set yourself up for failure in the future. Rather be prepared and be ready for it so that you know what is going to happen in the future. And what we're seeing now is brands are the first ones that are getting their feet and getting their fingers and their claws into the metaverse and buying this land, buying up as much land as they can and creating these experiences, because it's all about awareness. It's all about getting eyes on your brand. It's all about selling more. It's all about making more money. That's exactly what the brands are trying to do. They're getting in first so that they know exactly how to basically dominate the space. And I see this and I don't want to miss out on this. And I see an opportunity for that with Your Mom's House and with Nostalgia, building a brand that can compete with these global brands. we have some incredibly smart minds working on this thing right now, and I think it's going to be one of the most important plays that we can have. So let's talk about play to earn games. As I've said before, it's going to be the next thing to take crypto mainstream. Like I've just mentioned the stats previously to what I've just said, the numbers are insane. We're at the very beginning, but we're still getting hundreds of millions of daily and monthly active users playing in this world, and that was basically up until this point for free for entertainment. And now there's an incentive. So Axie Infinity is one of the most important ones, and this is also what has caused a change in, or not a change, but an highlighting of an idea. A few months ago, when I hired someone new for my team, this guy that I hired had been playing Axie Infinity. He lives in Portugal. He'd been playing Axie Infinity for the past few months, and was earning a doctor's salary in Portugal, right? This guy was playing games from home, earning a doctor's salary online, simply by playing Axie Infinity every single day. Now, if that doesn't give you a perspective of how crazy the shift is and how early we are to this, then I don't know what will. So let's use Axie Infinity as an example. $5.5 billion in assets is locked up in smart contracts, according to DappRadar, on Axie Infinity, right? $5.5 billion is locked in just this game. Still incredibly small, with only 400,000 monthly unique buyers, right? And we've got $5.5 billion locked in assets. Let's say this number gets up to 40 million, 400 million. Maybe we get to 4 billion users, like we do have the current global gaming population. Maybe we get to that point where we have billions of people online playing every day, and we have this entire financial economic system where people are making money on the internet playing games. And I think it's coming, and it's here already. In fact, when Mark Zuckerberg spoke about rebranding to Meta because the metaverse doesn't exist yet and there's no real metaverse, all the announcements and everything that he spoke about in the video is what we have with Decentraland. It's what we have with Sandbox already. It's not anything special. He's literally just trying to get people to get into Meta or Facebook, right? He wants to be the leader. He wants to be the world owner, whatever he is. So, as I've just said, as we've written in these very issues, humans are natural escapists. We like reality, sure, but we also like to escape reality sometimes. A few decades ago, we escaped through analog platforms like books, magazines, and movies. Today, we escape via 2D internet platforms like video games, social media, and streaming shows. Tomorrow, we will escape via 3D platforms like VR gaming, virtual bars, clubs, and immersive shows and movies. And I think this is so important because we are escapists, and as much as we want to deny that, and we try to come back to reality and ground ourselves and look around at our physical world and what we have in front of us and appreciate that, an understanding and an awareness that the world is becoming more digital is important, and being able to spot those opportunities is even more important in my eyes. So I think if you miss out on this opportunity, you're going to miss out in the future, but also don't get completely sucked in and think that this is the end of the world and we're going completely digital and you're going to forget your loved ones and you're not going to be able to ever see or touch your loved ones in the physical world ever again. That's not going to happen. It's just, think of it as an advancement and attachment to our reality. Elon Musk often speaks about us already being cyborgs because we have cell phones and we have computers and they are extensions of ourselves. If I ask you a question and you don't know what it is, you ask Siri, you Google it. This is an extension of you. It's something that you use on a daily basis. Most of us have our daily usage or our daily screen time on our phones above 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 hours every single day. You're looking at a screen because it is an extension of yourself. It is an expansion of your mind. It's a way for us to expand, and that's exactly where the world is going. It's a slow process. Often most people don't even notice that it's happening, but it is happening. And that's pretty much what this is as well. We also have the Disney Metaverse coming. So Disney is getting their fingers and their grubby little paws into the Metaverse. Obviously, no hate against Disney. All I'm saying is that the brands are noticing that we need to get into the Metaverse. Then I want to talk about Bitcoin before we get back into the Metaverse, and that is, of course, Bitcoin retreating 20% of its record, joining risk assets sell-off. Bloomberg said earlier as well that this is Bitcoin has entered a bear market again. In traditional markets, this might be the case where an asset class falls 20% and that's a bear market, and that might be considered a serious market crash. But if you know anything about Bitcoin, you know that we're perfectly fine. The bull market is fine where it is right now. Of course, we have the stock to flow model by Plan B, which isn't playing according to plan just yet. So over the past few months, he's been hitting a nail on the head, saying that every single month we have a certain price target for Bitcoin. This month, that has fallen short. But that is good news for us. The longer the bull market takes, the lower, or the longer we spend at these lower prices and the slower, steadier rise we have for Bitcoin, the longer the bull market has. And that means more assets, more capital flowing into the space. A longer, prolonged bull run means that better for all of us. We're going to have more time to build, more time to fill our bags, more time to build our portfolios. This is all extending the bull run, which is what we've been saying for months, that we have these lengthening cycles. I've been saying it time and time again. Of course, we could still have a blow off top in the next month, who knows? But what I'm saying is that these slower price movements are very, very important for us. Bitcoin has overtaken PayPal in quarterly volume and is set to overtake MasterCard. So figures from the blockchain inside firm block data show that Bitcoin network processed an estimated $480 billion per quarter in 2021 compared to PayPal's average of $302 billion per quarter. PayPal, which basically is the first digital currency platform, right? There's digital payments and digital currency and so on have been around for many, many years. PayPal has been around for many years, and essentially all it is a digital payments platform. Banks are digital payments. All the money in the world doesn't exist in a vault somewhere. It's all digital, except Bitcoin and crypto and so on brings scarcity and verifiable ownership and verifiable scarcity to those assets, and blockchain brings a public ledger. So for Bitcoin and for Ethereum and for all these networks to overtake PayPal and to overtake traditional systems like MasterCard is a no-brainer, because we've been working on these systems, except it hasn't been verifiable. It hasn't been as secure as using blockchain up until this point. So it's just a matter of time before we have true global adoption. And at the very beginning of this bull run, over a year ago, go back to the videos and you'll see I've said it, and I did say it, and I'll say it again, that this is the bull run of institutions and mass adoption. When you start using crypto without realizing that you're using crypto. You don't use the internet and before you visit every website, wonder if your TCP is working, if HTTP is working, if you don't worry about the JavaScript in the back end, you don't worry about Python, you don't worry about anything that's going on in the back end of your website, right? And that's where we're getting to with crypto. That's where global mass adoption comes from, where you don't care about what's going on in the back end, so everything progresses and you can go on about your day using crypto without even realizing it. So global crypto adoption set at currently over 300 million users worldwide. Very, very, very small. 300 million users in all of crypto, of course. Just as I've said before, there's hundreds of millions, billions of people playing games. We've only got 300 million in crypto. This number could easily 10x from here simply through gaming, right? Where we're using crypto without realizing that we're even using it. And finally, let's take a look at Metaverse property sales. Let's go back to the Metaverse, talk about what I was speaking about at the beginning of this video, is Metaverse property sales accelerating as investors stake out virtual land in the potentially $1 trillion market. Here are 3 recent examples that have sold for eye-popping amounts. So Metaverse Group's $2.3 million land purchase in Decentraland. So Metaverse Group is a subsidiary of tokens.com, and they purchased a patch of land for 618,000 mana. And we've seen a surge in sand, we've seen a surge in mana in these tokens right after Facebook rebranded to Meta. And of course, that just sent all Meta stocks, Meta assets, Meta cryptos booming, because in anticipation, it was purely a hype-driven move. But it's not initially outlandishly crazy. It's not madness that these things did grow this way. They're not outpriced. I think there's still a ton of room for these assets to grow. Of course, those moves were very short-lived, because it was basically entirely based on the hype of the Meta rebranding. But it does show you that this digital land is so highly valuable right now because it's provably scarce and rare, right? $1 million plot sale in Decentraland. So Republic Realm bought $1 million, $2.3 million land buy on Axie Infinity. We have the $650,000 mega yacht on Sandbox, not real estate exactly, but a virtual mega yacht was sold this week on the Sandbox for an astounding $650,000. These are digital assets selling for insane numbers. And I think we've gotten to the point where people are thinking, especially people who are involved in crypto right now and have been investing in crypto for months, you see something for 149 ETH and you're like, okay, that's an insane amount of money to anyone who's still making the comparison. But if you think about these organizations that have hundreds of thousands of ETH, tons of money. They're like, okay, 149 ETH for a mega yacht or for a piece of land and so on. They're like, okay, that sounds like a good investment. However, you translate it to our current accounting method, which is $650,000. If we equate it to dollars, you're like, crazy, that's insane. I can buy a mansion for that price, or I can buy a huge house, or I can buy a bunch of cars for that price in the real world. However, as the shift changes, these valuations are going to be slightly inconsistent, but I think over time, the valuations of the digital assets will go up even higher than what they're selling for right now, because we are at the very beginning. We're at the cusp, as I've said, and these land sales are already for this price. I saw someone earlier today who bought a piece of land for $100 back in 2017 on Decentraland and sold it today for like $90,000. That's an insane return on his money, because we're having this move towards the metaverse and to just crazy valuations in the digital scarce world. So I think I'm going to start making a lot more videos on this, covering this, because I think it's one of the most insane opportunities right now, and I don't want you guys to miss out on it. And that's why I'm focusing Your Mom's House in that direction. So again, if you guys haven't yet, please go ahead and check the website, yourmomshouse.io. I'll put it on the website, on the video, a link down in the description below. I will also be doing a giveaway in this video. So if you've made it all the way to the end here, comment in the description of this video, blue pink jelly, and I will select one of the comments to give away a nostalgia NFT in the next video. Don't click on any links, don't WhatsApp any people, don't accept any DMs from anyone who's pretending to be me. I will not DM you. Nostalgia and Your Mom's House will not DM you, so please be safe. As always, I shall see you guys in the next video. Cheers.